Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to learn to solve quadratic inequalities or ketaksamaan quadratic. So before that, you need to know the keyword. Usually when we are solving these quadratic inequalities, the keyword for the question will be find the range of x, range, or we call it jari julat nilai x. So when the question is asking you to find the range of x, usually your answer will be in this form: x less than something, x more than something, x in between a certain value, or sometimes here there is equals to. Okay, in this video I'm going to teach you how to solve quadratic inequalities using graph methods. Okay, so before using these graph methods, you need to understand two concepts. Okay, so later when we go into example, we will have two roots for the quadratic equation. So let's say we have two roots, x is a and b. So we will have a graph where we put a and b in the line. This as an x-axis. So we will sketch a graph. A is the value which is smaller to the left hand side, b is the value which is bigger at the right hand side. So when we want to write our answer for these inequalities, so you have to understand this first. For any value above the x-axis, which is this, will be positive. For any range below x-axis, it will be negative. Okay, so when you see this part of graph, any value less than a, this is a, less than a will be positive because it is above the x-axis, and any value more than b is also positive because b is here. So after b, you see the part of curve is above the x-axis. So all the value above after b will be positive, and any value in between a and b, you see in between a and b, the graph is under x-axis. So this will be negative. The next thing is you have to, when you want to write your answer, you have to refer to this thing. Let's say you already factor your quadratic x minus a and x minus b. So when you want to write your answer, you have to look at this thing. This, we call it inequality sign, tanda ketaksamaan linear ni. So if this is more than 0, which means it is positive. So positive means I have to consider this blue color part of the answer. So if it is more than 0, my answer will be all x value which is less than a, or all x value which is more than b. If your inequality sign is less than 0, less than 0 is negative. So I will look at negative part only. So your answer fulfill this inequality will be in between a and b. So how we write in between? We put x at the middle, in between, more than one value, less than the other value. So we just put a here and we put b here. So let's go into example. After you understand these two important things, let's look at first example. X squared minus x minus 6 is less than 0. So we will do two questions. Another one will be x squared minus x minus 6, exactly the same in quadratic, but then I put less than 0. So how are we going to solve this? First thing is you factor. So factor x plus 2. So if you cannot do this, then you have to use your calculator to key in ABC and then find your x value. So one of the x is 3, the other one is -2. After we done this, at this stage, we will need to draw a sketch of the graph. We put the root into here, -2 at the left and 3 at the right, and we draw a sketch a graph. Then we want to write our answer. So we look at this inequality sign, more than 0. So previously I tell you more than 0, we are looking at those part which is above x-axis. So these two parts will fulfill what the question wants. So we will write what x is less than -2 or x is more than 3. That's it. So if let's say the question is less than 0, so the way of doing is exactly the same. X minus 3, x plus 2, this is the part where you do factorization, and then our root is 3 and -2, so we will have a sketch, same. Then we will look at the range. We have to take answer which is less than 0, which is below the x-axis. So our answer will be in between these two figures, -2 and 3. The second example will be 2x squared minus 6x more or equals to 8. So what we do first is same. We want to solve this quadratic. We have to move everything to the left. Positive 8 become -8, and then we will divide 2 to the whole inequality to simplify it. Then we can start to factor. It will be 4 here and 1 negative, positive. Okay, so our root is x equals to -1 and 4. So we have a sketch, negative value here, 4 here. Then we want to make a conclusion to write the answer. So we have to look at this. More than means positive. We just take the range above the x-axis. So our answer is all x value less than -1 and all x value more than 4. So when the question is only more than, then my answer here is without the sign of equals to. When the question is more or equals to, then I have to follow the sign. And lastly, I will take another example. 2x squared minus x minus 3 more than 0, let's say. So when I look at this more than 0, I know my answer will be positive part. Okay, but then I still need to factor x more than 0. So 3 here, 1 here, -3 plus 1. So x value will be -1 and 3/2. So I'll have a sketch, -1 at the left, 3/2 right. So when we want the right answer, we have to refer back to our sign, inequality sign. More than 0, positive. My answer will be x less than -1 or x more than 3/2. Okay, so in next video we are going to learn how to do quadratic inequalities with the a here negative. Okay, see you in next video.